The Skotizo boss fight actually taught me a few things about my build. The confidence that bosses aren't actually that hard anymore, and that if you spare meat, you go into a delayed timer. Now, the delay timer stops you from interacting with other things that include attacking. And I think it's to prevent people from spamming food in fights, but if I'm only ever going to be using thorns as damage, that's no issue for me. Only when there's a boss mechanic, like Skotizo here, where I need to hit the pillars. So I waited for the moment he stopped hitting me so damn hard, because the issue is that once you enter within this chamber to fight Skotizo, you lose the key to go in. So I've got to go farm the key again in order to fight him again. I think I'd prefer to commit to this actual boss fight. So the interesting thing, though, is all I had to do was hit this pillar once the delayed timer actually went away, and then my thorns just did the rest for some reason. That is Skotizo down, and our final pact point to unlock what we have, the Thorns Capstone, and it increases our damage by an extra 50%. I did a couple of elite clues that got me a mimic boss fight. I'm unsure if it has any type of mechanics. All I did was eat a pie. Also, I thought I would go back to the area in the montage where the zombie dudes just ran at me full sprints, and yeah, turns out I'm bloody strong now. I took that newfound strength over to the Moons of Peril. This is where you need to beat 3 bosses, all of them having some kind of mechanics to them, but let me give you the easy rundown on all of them in the perspective of a Thorns user. All of them have these circles you need to stand on. If you don't, you'll start to take big damage or the boss will start healing. When you sit inside the circle, they thwack ya with multiple attacks. But remember, 1 attack hit on us is 2 attacks dealt back to them. The ice guy and the blood bloke easily knocked themselves down whilst I continued to just stand around and eat my pie. And the ice guy also has an attack you need to dodge. But when you get hits, you also seem to take damage. So I think I'll just continue to stand there. The sun-looking bloke is the longest to kill. There's a mechanic that if you're hit by its attacks, your damage is reduced to a total of 1. And this debuff is on for pretty much the entire fight, unless you do the mechanics to dodge all of his attacks to not get this debuff. So I kind of just gave up dodging, and I just let him hit me. And every single time he did, he took 1 damage, unless I stood there during this moment where he took 3. I certainly wonder what other players might be thinking watching a level 45 just stand in the middle of a room the entire boss fight, doing nothing. There are a number of tasks to beat bosses 50, 100, and 300 times, but I think I'll save that till the end. Right now, I want to see what bosses I can beat, and the Moons of Peril is certainly easily one of them. Sarachnis is another one that was very easy. It was pretty much a pushover. I didn't even move from this one spot for 10 kills. So with this newfound strength and this new confidence, I went over to the Colosseum, where you have to complete 12 waves of ever-increasing difficulty. Well, I tried, and the first wave I could do, but after that I didn't really have the healing to survive longer. You see, as my pie the entire time heals a total of 5 HP, but I can spam it every single click. But I'll need to upgrade it to make my survival much better. And sticking to being the pie guy, I'll upgrade to a summer pie, which doubles my healing. You can get it 2 ways. Doing elite clues, which I can breeze through, or get my cooking to 95, which is also easy as Endless Harvest makes it so every time we fish, we catch 2, and those 2 are automatically cooked for cooking XP. I thought the best choice would be elite clues, but this same step kept popping up. I could drop it, but it kept popping up. In order to damage a Naga, you need Slayer, and I don't have any of that. But it does count when you fight the boss, a Moxel. But I didn't want to keep fighting more bosses until I've gotten that summer pie. You see the predicament here? So it's off to fishing to get 95 cooking, and that summer pie will be my only food for the rest of the league.